Listen, my brothers, there's some big problems that men are going to be facing in 2024. Well, really just society, but primarily when I say society, I essentially mean men are going to face the problems because women are not going to solve the problems. It's going to be up to dudes. Let's just keep it a stack. So, here are my 7 top problems that men will be facing in 2024 in the West, specifically America, because that's kind of where I'm from. Number 1, the single woman epidemic. I don't know if you niggas been outside, walk around touching grass like I have. But there's a mob of fucking women who don't have a man. Like, this is unprecedented. I go outside and I just see swabs of women with no guys. And then even the relationships that I do see with some of these boyfriend situations, they're not real relationships. Like, nobody wants to be there. Like, they're kind of stuck there by convenience. So when you start to realize the modern relationship is fucking just, it's a cesspool. There's nobody dating anybody. If you actually stand out as a man, you might be able to leverage yourself into like a pretty decent relationship if you just hold fast. Because I think the competition anxiety is going to start eating at chicks. Too many single chicks means there's a lot of competition for a couple of guys. That's why most of them are single. So all you gotta do is be one of those guys, and chances are you might be able to leverage yourself into a top situation. But that shit is super super fucking deep. Like, if you a telltale sign of single woman, just the dog. The dog is always a fucking telltale sign. Very rarely do couples have dogs, unless they got some kids already. So if you see that, that's like open season. This is also a huge implication because we have the single woman epidemic. It likely means there's a man shortage, and that's the second problem that we're going to be facing in 2024. Is that there's a huge shortage in men. And when I say men, I don't mean males. I mean like dudes that actually do things that move civilization forward. So like if you're maintaining infrastructure, producing energy or transporting energy, logistics, things that keep the world going around, there's not a lot of guys doing that. So there's a huge, huge market if you have man labor. It could be as simple as like I put TVs up. That's man labor. Nobody's running around trying to do TVs. Surprisingly, you can make a living doing TVs. Make a living putting furniture together. Make a living hauling things away. So if you choose to exploit this man shortage, you have much to gain. But overall, like there's too much work and not enough guys, and this is going to be a huge issue going to 2030 as society really starts to crumble and break down. Number three, interweb consumption addiction. I thought the internet addiction would get better when the world opened up. It got worse. People are on their phones more than ever. They're online more than ever. People want to escape from reality, and the phones is the only escape. So, you as a human being, you as a man, knowing these things, simply knowing these things, it is up to you to basically take advantage. Because that's really the best way to play it. Look, if people are going to be addicted to their phones, you can't stop everybody from being addicted to their phones unless you just shut down phone. But what you can do is give them productive stuff virtually that they can use to make their life better. So that's where interwebs comes from. All right, and next, number 4, the Lost Boy epidemic, which is a result of the interweb addiction. We got a bunch of lost children, lost boys just existing on the Western culture. This is dangerous for society. Never in any human history period has there been no space for young men to grow up and be young men. Like, it doesn't exist. The world's been feminized. Well, not with the world, but the West has largely been feminized to the point where like dudes just can't be dudes, and dudes get ridiculed for being dudes, and even dudes are sideswiping and betraying other dudes in the hopes of getting some ass. And this is a huge problem because it's leading to an unprecedented amount of loneliness around boys and young men. And there's really no way to solve it. That shit's going to be a huge problem unless we have men to solve it. But there's a man shortage. Once again, masculinity is in short supply, which makes it a very valuable commodity. So if you got masculinity about you, go get paid for it. Number 5, the cooked OG's influence. So things that are going to be a problem for men is on the cooked OGs. There's a bunch of OGs out here, or not even say OGs, just older guys who never amounted to anything really, except for just making some money, never had relationships, and they preach to the young boys. oh man, just be playboys, and they preach fuck nigga game. So I would say there's going to be unprecedented amounts of that further going on. Andrew Tate was like the canary in the coal mine. He was the original one, but there will be more. He has sprung more of these playboyish characters. But I slowly think the man spear or the red pill is slowly starting to disintegrate. I don't think it's going to exist anymore. Kevin Samuels was like the ending of that. I guess you would say that period. The COVID backlash and societal rumbling is number 6 on the top 7 things that men are going to pretty much the problems men are going to face. So people keep think COVID is done. No, no, no. I think you guys underestimate how violent and how much trauma a lot of people took on that impact of COVID. Now, COVID didn't bug me at all. I got better from COVID. COVID actually made me a better human being. I came out of it because I actually took advantage of time. But most people are not as smart to take advantage of time. They're very bad with that. So we're going to see more and more of the COVID backlash where people are going to be starting to wish to go back to COVID times. People are going to miss the being at home all day watching shows and not to work. They're going to miss not having to struggle as much and just being locked in the house and being told that the government's going to take care of you and you'll be all safe. That fucked a lot of people's brains up. So now a lot of people are having a very difficult time recouping with the idea that they're going to have to work for the rest of their life, especially a lot of millennials. A lot of these millennials and older guys, they're hurting because they made no plans for the inflation. They were depending on basic retirement, or some people didn't even have like real jobs. They quit a lot of jobs. People were doing the work from home jobs. There was a lot of like just laziness occurring during the COVID time, and it built really bad habits. Because you got to think about it, that shit lasts like a year or 2 years down there. They shut the whole country down, and in some of those places 3. So the grand majority of the people still haven't recovered. Like it's only been about 2 years since COVID, 3 years. I think I'm gonna say 2 years. So a lot of people have already built bad habits. It's like getting fat and you gotta work your way back. A lot of people are still trying to figure out how to work their way back. And so we're gonna start to see more people just fall off, and we're gonna have to deal with those fall offs. And that's gonna be a huge problem in the future. And the last one that we gotta worry about, number 7, immigration infestation. There's a bunch of immigrants coming to our country. We're feeding them, supplying them, gassing them. It's major news, especially the very liberal countries. And what I saw in England and Netherlands and all the other countries, apparently when that happens, they take a hostile takeover. They take over your shit and they say, we're going to pretty much make this our country. And I saw some guy say, this is going to be a Muslim country. We don't respect the queen. And I'm not saying that's all of them. But the ones of military fighting age, I probably wouldn't let those guys over. Go fix your own country. Fuck that. Or you got to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get over here. But we're not taking your... fuck that. We want the best of the best. But anyway, yeah, those are the top 7 problems men are going to face in 2024. And I would develop more videos. We would expand more about those ideas as we face the crash out of 2030.